There's not a dry eye in the entire team. Paul Foster, born and bred here in Singapore, half British, half Chinese. I've managed to carve out a career in the entertainment industry. I do a lot of hosting. That's my main career. A bit of acting, started out with the modeling, back in the day when I was much younger.
There's a magnetism about you. Can you put your finger on it?
To be perfectly honest, it'd be mum and dad, especially dad.
So he passed away, unfortunately, when you were 18?
That's right. Unfortunately, lost his battle against cancer. When I lost dad of what I did, I suppressed a lot. So, my emotions I wasn't very good at the emotional side of things. I covered up the mourning process and that pain and that hurt by helping others, build a school, build a house.
It's amazing.
Raise money, help these animals, go and do this. So I've been working with Habitat for almost 20 years. 7 builds, Thailand, Malaysia, Nepal, Philippines.
Life-changing.
To build a home for someone is powerful. I've completed a couple of houses where we've done the ceremony to give it to the family.
Wow.
And my God, man,
It must be breathtaking.
that's everyone. Recently, I've gotten more into the wellness space. The real healing from it is really powerful.
Huge.
If you're willing to
You have to
go
deep.
you gotta go. It's shadow work.
Yeah.
You gotta go deep. You gotta be ready to release. And then once that happens, you just go into another.
Good morning, Paul. How are you?
I'm very well, Paul. Thank you very much for having me.
Mate, I can't wait. Well, listen, we haven't known each other long, but I've got to thank EJ and give EJ a shout out for connecting us.
Yes, 100%. Look, I love EJ. I've been training with him for a long time. And he reached out back in the day, and he's not just my trainer anymore. He's a good friend and he's a brother, because I realized I spend so much time with him. If I'm training with him 3 times a week, that's 3 full hours a week that I'm catching up with him.
Yeah.
So we're training and we're bouncing things off each other. He's like my friend, my bro, my trainer, my psychologist, my psychiatrist. It's like super cool. So I'm also happy that that you guys connected, and then here we are. That circle is complete.
I'm grateful. Now, you are very well known in Singapore, but for the few people that may not know you, can you give a short summary before we unpack your incredible journey thus far?
Absolutely. So Paul Foster, born and bred here in Singapore, half British, half Chinese. So I get a lot of stick for that, because everyone's like, no, but you're Angmo, you're Caucasian, you're not Singaporean, surely, but I am. International school, served my national service, university in Melbourne, Australia, and then after that I've been back here and I've managed to carve out a career in the entertainment industry. I do a lot of hosting. That's my main career. A bit of acting, started out with the modeling, back in the day when I was much younger. And recently I've gotten more into the wellness space. So
Brilliant.
Longevity, wellness, just feeling good, living good, being better.
So important.
And that is important. Yeah, exactly.
How old are you now?
45.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's interesting. I turned 49 this year, and it's like I'm thinking next year I turn 50.
50, that's it.
My son will be turning 21. My daughter will be 18. The youngest will be like 11 doing a PSLE, and it's like, where the hell is it? But my goal is this. So check this out. So when I was younger, I used to be able to do 5 sets of 100 push-ups with a minute in between each set.
Wow.
Right? And so I said to my son, because he's an ex-national boxer, and I was driving him I said, if you can't do 100 push-ups, you're not in shape, bro. In one go.
Yeah.
And we tweaked it, and I was trying to brainwash him, but now he's well over that, and he's doing some serious stuff. But he said, I don't think you're going to do 100 again. And I just said, wait, just watch. But that's just because I think he did it on purpose, just to get me fired up. And sometimes
he's just motivating you.
Just that's it. That's all it is, and I need it.
Yes.
So one of the things that I love about you is your wonderful story, and one of your heroes, or your hero, which is also my hero, is my mum, and your mum is your hero.
Yeah.
Tell me about her amazing journey, because she had a difficult life growing up.
She did. Yeah. Thank you for that. A lot of people actually ask me about my dad first, just because that story's out there too. When I lost him at a younger age, but
we'll come on to that.
Exactly. But I do appreciate that you've come out and you've asked about mum.
Yeah.
And Mom's fantastic, you know. She's pioneer generation. So she grew up in a time in Singapore where it was difficult. They were poor, 13 of them.
Crazy.
Yeah, when her father also passed away tragically quite young as well. So it was just her mum taking care of the entire family.
In a kampong.
In a kampong, exactly. And, 12 siblings, so 13 of them all together. Mum was the first girl. So the first girl born, so she's the eldest girl, and I think she was number 3, if I'm not wrong. Number 3 or number 4.
Okay.
So...
Who's counting when it's 13, right?
Exactly, right, And yeah, look, kampong life, back in the 40s, 50s, tough time for Singapore, breaking out to independence in 65 and everything from there. And it was post-Japanese occupation as well. So it was dicey time, yeah, very difficult world. So she had to do the hard yards.
And then tell me about what did she do? Because raising you, your work ethic obviously came from both of your parents.
Yeah.
But tell us about your mum.
Yeah. Look, first marriage for her was arranged marriage. One of those things back then,
Same for my mother-in-law, yeah.
You're right. Trying to give a better life for your child as a parent. So you're like, okay, if we can do this. And again, 13 kids, right? One less person to worry about. And have to worry about the younger ones that are there. So... I've got 3 older sisters that are my stepsisters, but I always say they're my sisters because same blood,
100%,
right? Same mom. So they took care of me when I was much younger as well, and they're still living here in Singapore. And then with my mom's second marriage to dad was myself and my younger sister.
Okay.
And that was our nucleus in terms of that family. But overall, we have this lovely, awesome, huge family in that way.
I want to hear about your dad because you know what's funny? So I'm half Chinese, half Irish, grew up in London, and I'd never heard of the term Eurasian until I came to Singapore. And I had the opposite thing because everyone thought I was just Chinese.
Yes.
Right? They didn't know the difference. I got a lot of racism and whatnot. But then when I moved to my wife's dad, he was president of the Eurasian Association. And I think that's why perhaps, he accepted me, and that was a big part of that community. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So tell us about Dad. Where was he from?
That was British, Middlesex, so kind of like northwest London.
That's where I'm from, really?
Oh, yeah.
Would you know where?
Pinner.
I'm from
Hills.
Harrow, really?
Yeah, okay, Harrow,
wow.
There you go. So you're at the end of the line.
Yeah. That's crazy, I didn't know
past
that.
Harrow on the Hill. So he used to play a lot of rugby at Harrow.
And that's where your love from rugby came from?
100%.
What did Dad do for a living?
Dad was in oil and gas.
Okay.
He finished school and he basically bounced. He was like, right, I'm out of here. He did the whole of Europe, kind of just the odd job laborer stuff, and just finding his way. Then ended up in Africa.
Wow.
And eventually doing more geology. So on the geologist side of things, and the minerals, and that kind of carved his career then onto the oil rigs, and then oil and gas with a French company, where eventually he was taking care of all of APEC. So coming out to Singapore in the 70s, a little bit more of the cowboy town.
Yeah,
and
so
then
different.
Yeah, opening up Indonesia. Indonesia was the big market for oil and gas.
Yeah.
Once he opened that up, that was it. And, massive.
It's almost like that career couldn't exist today.
No.
You know what I mean?
He
worked his way up. And
exactly. Without a uni degree, just hustle, go work, prove, show, learn, lead, and that's it. And you're right, it's different now.
It's different. We've got so much in common. It's weird that your dad's literally just one stop away from where I kind of grew up. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
That is bananas.
Yeah.
So then at school, what was your first love? Was it sports?
Yeah, it's always been sports. I've always been the outdoor guy. Growing up in the 80s, I was on my bike, riding around, riding to kampongs, because kampongs still existed then. A lot of construction, so all the construction sites, playing basketball, baseball, doing my taekwondo at the CC, catching spiders, tadpoles, just hide and seek, cops and robbers, just running around, and then same thing. Okay, be back for dinner. When it starts to get dark, you're home. That's it, simple.
Yeah.
no phones, no nothing. It was just a set thing. You'd go to certain places to try to meet friends, and that was playtime. And I was always out. Like academically, I mean, I did all right in school, but
It wasn't your thing?
yeah, it wasn't my thing. I loved to be out. That was my thing. I was physical. So even in school, it was like being with friends and playing sports. That's what I really loved.
Yeah.
And, okay, do the subjects, of course. You got to go with the flow.
Yeah.
But nah, I was athlete.
Did you struggle with your identity here a little bit?
No, I was very lucky. With mum and dad, the East and West, so my household always had a blend of everything. Like mum would cook everything. So food was huge for us. And I'm very lucky that I was allowed and able to eat everything. So
Wonderful.
that I think was good.
Have you brought that into your home now?
Yeah, kind of. You know, I've had to refine even my diet a lot more because I think I grew up like, don't waste food.
Yeah.
Eat everything, you know? And when I mean eat everything, I mean eat everything. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
And the amount.
Yeah.
Eat. So as I've gotten older with the health and everything, and with my lovely wife, Layla, making sure that she's like, you know, she tells me like all the time, like, you're not allowed to die.
Okay.
So I need you around.
Yeah.
And if I need you around, you need to be healthy. And the diet plays a very big role in that.
Of course.
And, I guess we'll touch upon that later
Yeah,
on.
please.
But, you know, I grew up very lucky with mum and dad with food and both the East and West culture because the big family here. So the local big family here, we grew up in Seletar and I was all local friends there. But I went to international school, so I had all my international school friends there. So I kind of had a good mix. And then I would travel a lot because of dad. And we would go back to the UK for the summer and I'd see my family there. And so I was very lucky that I had the best of both worlds.
Beautiful.
Which, if you don't, I think that's where the identity crisis comes in.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my whole life as well, for a long time, I called myself Eurasian. You know, akin to you saying to me that you didn't really know that existed until you came here.
Yeah.
But as I got older, especially with the modeling world,
Yes.
so to be Eurasian actually is very specific. To be Eurasian, you had to have one of the, especially in Singapore, one of the Chinese, the Indian, the Malay on the Asian side. Then you had to have more of something of the Dutch, the Spanish.
Very specific.
That spectrum to be
Yeah.
allowed to be called Eurasian. The British.
Really?
Yeah, almost the colonizing
Yes.
countries, right? Because that was the mix, that was the blend. So in actual fact, if you don't really have that kind of mix,
Yeah.
you're actually Pan-Asian.
Ah,
So I learned that.
that's a distinction.
That's it. I learned that once we started going to the modeling industry. When I started to do that, kind of like after NS and in uni, and I was like, oh no, Pan-Asian. I was like, Pan-Asian, which also makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get spotted for your first modeling gig?
How did I get spotted? What did I do? I was in NS and some booker from an agency was just like, hey, you know, you've got the height, you've got the look.
Is it something you'd ever thought about before?
Not really. At the Hong Kong Sevens, when I was with my dad at one of the Hong Kong Sevens.
And the
back
Hong
in
Kong
day,
Sevens is on another level, right?
That's it. Yeah, another
That's
level.
another level.
You know, I think I was 13, 14, kind of that
Yeah.
age. So still actually the awkward age actually. But I think I might have had my growth spurt, so I had the height.
I'm still waiting for mine.
You know, and but there was another booker at the stadium spotted me,
Wow.
and then even that lady was like, "Hey, listen, here's my card,"
Nice.
and she saw something in me. Then she said, "There's something you've got to look,
Yeah.
and you're still growing, but there's something that
Yeah.
will happen, and if you're ever interested to model, let me know." And of course, Dad's just like, fuck no.
Yeah.
Modeling, no way. Come on,
You can't
that's
do
not-
that.
That's it, you know.
Yeah.
And not in a bad
different,
way.
it's
That
very
was
different.
exactly. It was just a
Different
different time. But then later on, when I was in NS, same sort of thing. Just being a little bit fitter and with the Pan Asian look. Someone spotted me and said, "Hey, we just want you to do a fashion show. Can you do a fashion show?" And I was like, and it's paying like, like $400, $500 or something, right? I don't know. I can't remember exactly
where
what
do I
it was.
sign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, that for a day's work.
Yeah.
When I was doing NS,
Yeah.
my pay was like $330 a month.
Yeah.
Right?
Imagine that.
Rank and vocation pay for me was that. It was miserable.
No brainer, right?
Yeah. So I was like, I'm earning almost 2 months' pay.
And I'm going to
in
be
1
surrounded
day.
by attractive ladies as well.
Exactly. Like, oh, this is good. So that was kind of the entry into it. Didn't really do much after that. But the next big step was I did a reality show called The Big Unknown,
Yes.
where they followed me to university.
How did that even come about?
Had a friend who was at a casting agency, and she was literally like, Paulie, you need to come and do this audition. You'd be perfect.
Were you skeptical,
For
or
this
you
role.
like, or you all?
Yeah,
in?
no.
You were skeptical.
I was like, wait, what do you mean? I don't understand.
And this is when reality shows weren't a thing, right? They were
Yeah,
just being born.
This was 2001.
Yeah,
Like, and I had finished NS. I was doing my Euro trip.
yeah,
I was in the UK, meeting all my friends, seeing the girl I was with at that time, just having a holiday. I was like,
Yeah.
I finished national service, got dreads, got piercings. I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go travel. I need to break out of this mold that they've, put me in.
Yeah.
To be a soldier, and I get that.
Yeah.
But now I need to go and find my
wanna be myself.
my identity. I need to
Yeah.
go and just let loose. And she's like, no, you gotta come back. But the audition, like, it's now, because they wanted to start filming. And it just all worked out because it was like they needed 3 students who were going to not necessarily overseas university, but universities. And I was about to go to uni in March the following year. So she's like, you have to come in to audition now. So if you get it, they can plan everything and come and start filming you in your first semester at uni.
Yeah. Wow.
I was like, oh, but I'm on my trip. She's like, no, please do it. I promise you. And she was super confident. She was like, you're gonna get this, because she
Gotta
knew
give
me.
a big shout out, man.
Yeah. Atika, big shout out. Yeah, she's like, she knew me. We grew up together in school. She's like, you'll come across really well on this.
Yeah.
And the timing was right.
Yeah.
Like, the timing was, you're just about to go to uni.
Brilliant.
You've got a good backstory. You're gonna have a great story at uni. So let's do it. And it worked. Like, I smashed my audition, of course.
Of course. I love it.
I know, and I smashed the show. I was just that fun guy that went. I was the guy with dreads.
You're authentic, right?
Yeah, I know how to work the camera. And I was doing sports coaching administration. I was in Melbourne, Australia during summer. I had loads of friends there already.
Yeah.
I made more friends. There was a lot to do. It was fun.
Yeah.
They followed one girl who stayed here, and I think she was at SIM,
Okay.
doing economics. They followed another girl who was doing medicine
Okay.
in London during winter.
Yes.
Pretty dull,
Yeah.
very cold,
Yeah.
very dark, very gloomy.
Yeah.
And she was doing medicine, so she was very studious.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Singapore. They were following the girl here, going, okay. But then, so I think maybe that's what helped me
Yeah.
and my character and my story
Put a
shine up
spotlight.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it worked. And Elite, that was still open back then, was like,
The agency.
yeah, we'd like to represent you. We think, again, you'd be good at. And that the evolution from then is now I was more commercial.
Yeah.
I'm not your necessarily high-end fashion catwalk guy or model. I have a commercial look,
Yeah.
especially with the Pan-Asian
Yeah. That
mix.
vibe.
That's right. The energy, the smiley
Yeah.
face,
Yeah.
that positive. So I hit that commercial industry very well.
Beautiful.
And then that opened up a lot of doors.
Where do you think your charisma came from? I'm curious because, so for me, you have this. When I first met you,
Yeah.
I knew who you were already, but there's a magnetism about you, and not many people have it, and it's something that I don't think you can create very easily. I think it tends to be quite authentic. It's original.
Yeah.
But can you put your finger on it?
Yeah, look, to be perfectly honest, it'd be mum and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially dad.
So he passed away, unfortunately, when you were 18.
That's right. Unfortunately, lost his battle against cancer. And, during that time, it was tough.
Yeah.
He got all the treatment and did everything we could, but it's very aggressive, and times have changed now.
Yeah.
With technology and medicine. But in the 90s, in the late 90s, it was tough. And you know, that elevated me to become the man of the house overnight. And I had
Forces
to
you
really
to grow up.
shift, force me to grow up, which is a lot of things that I've actually had to deal with in my wellness journey to heal.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things I didn't know then. I thought this is the right way to do it. But in fact, probably wasn't.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
it's locked up a lot of things in me, but that's also been part of my journey in the last few years to go, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
But,
and especially now that you're a parent, right? You start thinking differently. You then look. I don't know about you, but I looked at my parents differently after I became a parent.
Yeah.
You almost see them now as human beings.
Yeah.
What they were going
what
through.
they had to go, and what they were doing was the best they could do with what they had to also protect and serve us and to help us.
Was your dad an old school kind of mentality?
Yeah, but he was super cool, like, and again, he had this aura. He had that aura where he would walk into a room and it'd be like, Len's here.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Love it.
I mean, he was a big guy, 6'3", second row, good looking guy, super smart, super social, very successful.
Okay.
So, but also nothing to prove.
Yeah.
And
very natural.
Just, BFG.
Yeah.
Very natural. He just had something about him. And I think that's just the way he grew up and where he went to do things. And he carved out a very good life for himself and his family. And I'll always be grateful for that because the opportunities I've had
afforded by
were from him. Exactly.
Beautiful.
And the life experiences I had when he was alive that he gave me definitely shaped a lot of my foundation. So
now, one of the things I wanted to ask you about, because a lot of the guests that I have, it's becoming a little bit of a common theme, but excellence in sports.
Yes.
And the foundation that gives you for everything afterwards. So you've represented Singapore in rugby and netball. I know that was just to meet the girls, let's be honest. We'll come back to that later. But tell me about rugby. So how did that journey look like?
Yeah, that was a good one. So born into rugby because of dad. And that's always been a part of my life. But when I think I was also a late bloomer as an athlete. I wasn't a natural athlete from young. When you see the prodigies and you see those who are like they were literally born to be the fastest human being or the strongest human being or the next GOAT.
Yes.
Or at least that echelon level.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. I had to work hard.
So you grinded at it.
I had to work hard to get it. And it took me some time for it to all fall into place. I remember growing up as a kid, being active and being out. So I always had that. I could run. I wasn't the most gifted runner. Didn't have the best technique or the gait and so on and so forth. Wasn't the fittest by any stretch. But I was always out and I always wanted to do stuff. And that didn't necessarily transfer to the field or the court straight away. But over time, again, with coaching and training and, getting smarter.
Yeah.
The mental game.
Yeah.
Okay. And
that's often overlooked, man.
Very, very overlooked. And then in my early teens, I'd say even, it must have been, like, again, late bloomer. I'd say like 13 or 14 was when it really clicked.
Started coming together.
Like for rugby especially. Just like I remember a trial match to get into the sevens.
Yeah.
Because we used to play at the SEC sevens. The schools competition used to be with the club, the men's club competition. So that was super fun.
Yeah.
Because you'd be playing your comp with the men's playing their comp.
Yeah.
So you're playing in front of a crowd for the whole weekend.
It's visceral.
Amazing. And it just clicked in this one game where I scored 4 tries.
Wow. In
this trial match. I was almost untouchable. Interceptions, making my own tries, setting up tries. And the coach was just like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Wait. I know who this player is,
Yeah.
and I've been training him, but
it was like you came out of nowhere.
Yeah, something just opened.
Did you have the confidence before that game, or was after the game you realized I've arrived?
Yeah, exactly that. I thought, oh,
beautiful.
Wow. Okay, this is what it feels like. This is what it must feel like to just, like how Senna said. Do you remember that that lap when
Yes.
he suddenly
Yeah.
everything just
Tunnel
slowed
vision.
down.
Yeah.
Yes, and he said
Amazing.
he was just doing the lap like it was nothing, and he could see everything, even
Yeah.
though he's going at 300 kilometers an hour.
You're in the
and
Matrix now, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
That was kind of like my moment where it's like, oh, okay, everything just opened up, and it was great. And from there, then it was
started-
like,
You know, Paul, I was going to say, I think, because I think our childhood never leaves us, right? And if you have a seminal moment or moments when you're younger, it just is a game changer for your confidence because you bring it into everything else.
That's right.
And
As long as you can remember it.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of my childhood, weirdly enough. They're snippets.
but that you remember.
I remember a lot of stuff on the rugby field. It's crazy. Or the basketball court. Like, again, sports for me,
Yeah.
they're just
Well, it was
there.
important to you.
Yeah. Yeah. There were big moments
Yeah.
in your life as a kid, right?
Yeah.
And so I have loads of those, but that set me up. That set me going, and it's school, junior club, junior national, senior club, senior national.
What position did you play?
I was always in the back line. My preferred position is always in the centers. So inside, outside center was my preferred choice. But I started out at fullback,
Okay.
just because I could cover and do that. But the thing is, I'm a shit kicker. I can't kick.
Really?
I'm terrible. I'm very good at my hands, but I just can't.
So
kick.
no Johnny Wilkinson.
No chance. So eventually, slowly, I moved up into the centers because I was a good playmaker and I could read and I could play my D and I could do my attack. But I would have played every position in the back line by scrum half.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the great thing about sport, it cuts out any noise, right? There's no BS.
Yep.
It's your talent's your talent. You own it. There's always a bit of politics, but
Yeah.
it's real.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I love team sports as well. I've played a lot of individual sports as well, but I prefer team sports because I love that dynamic. I love working with people, and I love collaborations, and that's still what I am now.
Today.
I just love it. I believe everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, and you need people to help with both.
And that's evident in your work.
Yeah.
I'm curious because you hit the spotlight in Singapore at a very young age.
Yeah.
What was that all about? How did that feel like?
Yeah, I mean, young age, but I was already grown up.
Yeah, you were the
In
man
that
of the
way.
house.
That's right. So I think I was totally fine with it. I never went out to seek fame.
Yeah.
That's always been my baseline. I never got into the entertainment industry to be famous and to be well known and to be recognized and to be, pat on the back and be like, oh, wow. I know it comes with the territory, but it doesn't feed any ego I have for that.
Yeah.
I did it because it was a career. It was work
Yeah.
that I also enjoyed. I love it.
Yes.
I mean, I always tell people, if you enjoy the work you do, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That is the perfect storm.
And it's sustainable that
That's
way.
it. Because I have a lot of people who honestly hate their jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
a lot.
they have no choice.
Yeah,
they,
it's tough.
They have to work
Yeah.
to earn.
Pay the bills. And
Earn a living and pay the bills.
Did,
right.
did you consciously think about that when you were going into your career? Were you thinking, I'm going an unconventional route, it's not safe, I don't know other people that have done it? Was that even a consideration, or you just went all in?
Kind of a mixture. I
Okay.
mean, great question because
Because that psychology, why I say, because I've got 3 kids, right?
Yeah.
My son wants to be a filmmaker.
yeah,
And, a lot of people will say, because I support private banking, and some people have said to me, why don't you put your son into this? And I
Right.
said, no, I'm not going to tell my son what to do. He can do whatever he wants to do.
100%.
And it's not going to be easy, but
Yeah.
I believe in him.
Yeah,
And
you're still here to support him
100%.
in whatever happens.
all in, man.
Life experience,
Yeah.
go do it.
Yeah.
Go do it. Try. And
Yes.
look, try.
Yeah.
Fail is okay.
Yeah.
We can always figure something out.
Yeah.
So it's a great question because, look, my life would be
Very different.
100% totally different. My dad was still alive.
Ah, that is interesting.
100%.
You think he would have gone the corporate route?
100%. He was already grooming me and shaping me to help me get there.
By
to
the
go
way,
there.
I think you would have been equally very successful in
Thank-
that avenue.
thank you.
But it's really about, it's
Yeah.
just one door opens another.
That's it. Exactly right. Life is life.
Yeah.
You got to go with it. The more you fight it, I believe, the more you could lose your self-identity, your happiness, your fulfillment.
Yeah.
And we've all got different callings.
Yeah.
And different callings at different stages in our lives as
And it
well.
can change, right?
And it can change. So you have to be adaptive. You have to be able to adapt.
So did you just roll with the momentum?
Yeah.
Or did at one point you think, okay, I'm doing this now. It's like, this has become what I do.
Exactly that, right? Like, you know, Dad passed away when I was 18. He had left the role he had for a long time with the French company for the oil and gas, and he started his own consultancy company, and it was going great. Everything was there, and would have had some massive contracts. You know, and life would have been different because, like I said, I wouldn't have to worry about money still. I'm very lucky he left a legacy for me to
Wonderful.
take care of for the family. So I didn't, and I'll always say I'm very lucky I didn't have to worry about necessarily, but still worry.
Yeah.
Because I'm still at uni.
Yeah.
My sister still at school.
You're so young.
That's right. I still.
What did you study at
things to do.
uni?
Sports coaching admin. So
Okay.
a double degree in,
Sorry, you did say.
coaching
Okay.
and business, right? And I mean, the two things I was good at school.
Yeah.
I was good at sports, I was good at business. Everything else, you know.
That's okay.
Yeah. And I learned as well, being an NS, I saw a lot of people that were very unhappy with the degree they chose. And I would see a lot of them switch degrees, switch universities, switch countries.
Yeah.
That's how massive
Yeah.
the spectrum was. So I was like, ooh. And I saw most, if not all, the people in Australia were very happy.
Interesting.
The UK, touch and go.
Very few people
Yeah.
are in the UK.
The US,
Yeah.
you know.
That's a
but
very interesting
Australia,
observation.
So I was like, okay, you know what? I was supposed to go to the UK. I had
Yeah.
a few offers there.
Yeah.
For the rugby especially, you know, Loughborough,
Yeah.
Nottingham.
Amazing
yeah,
uni.
Nottingham. So
Yeah.
there was a few that I could have gone over. My results weren't great, but based on my rugby
We would have carried over.
pedigree and
Yeah.
national service,
Yeah. Those two things.
would have got over. But for Australia, so I got I went to Deakin University in Melbourne. I got an unconditional.
Amazing.
I went to the university fair. I spoke to them, unconditional. And I asked her, I said, look, why?
Yeah.
Why? And she said, yes, okay, granted your results aren't the best, but they're not the worst. They're good, and we can work on that. What we see here for you is you're an international student. We need an international quota. She was quite honest. I loved her.
I love it.
She was great. But you did national service, so you're a mature student who's gone through 2 years of military training. That's important. 3, you're a national rugby player. And that also shows a high level of maturity and experience and caliber, which would fit into the sports coaching administration degree perfectly.
Love it.
Applied health sciences. And it was probably the best choice I made to go to that uni. Small
Yeah.
uni,
Yeah.
but the course was fantastic. It was
You
so
enjoyed
much
it.
fun.
Great exposure.
Yeah, 100%. Super good. And that worked really well. And that was what I did. But yes, if Dad was still alive, I think he might have been happy with me choosing that degree, to be fair, I think, because of the double major. There was
Yeah.
still a business element to it. You know, he would have known I enjoyed sports a lot, but I still feel he would have said, you still have to go to the UK.
Yeah.
My feeling is he would have rather had me gone to the UK
It's
and focus on that.
it's so
Yeah.
interesting you say that because this is upon me now because my son's in NS.
Yeah.
And, you know, without knowing it as a parent, you really can influence your kids. And, you know, I think I've got to think about that now. You're going to have to think about that later on. It's like, so my son, it's funny because he got onto the Singapore national boxing team.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe he was about 15, 16. He said to me once, he said, I don't know if I want to continue boxing.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, darling, why? And then he said, I don't know if you chose this for me or I chose it for myself. I said, it's a good point.
I love that.
But I
At a
said,
15-year-old, that's very mature.
and I said, well, let's break it down. I said, you love steak, right? Yeah. Is it because I introduced you to steak? Maybe. But you choose to still eat it.
Yes.
Right? So I said, so I used that analogy and I said, well, why else? And he said, I don't like to hit people. And I said, you know what? That's unusual, you know, in boxing. But I said, you know, if someone's coming after you, you might feel a bit different.
Yes.
And then what's the last reason? He said, I don't know if I'm good enough.
Okay.
And I said, well, I'm not going to allow you to quit for that reason. I'm not going to allow you to quit anything for that reason.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he said, my coaches don't believe in me. And I said, fuck your coaches. All in, son. just remember that, all in. You have to believe in yourself. And I'm a big advocate about that, because you're going to have people that are on side, you're going to have naysayers, but ultimately you have to back yourself.
Yeah.
And of course, at some point you've got to be realistic, right? And you realize, I've just lost all my teeth in a fight. Maybe this isn't for me. But it's so interesting that you have that recognition that it might have been a bit different.
It would, yeah. And I mean, you alluded to the mental state. So your son, I love that too. That's perfect. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Funny story is I learned I'm not a fighter too when I did my white collar boxing.
How was it?
I won on split decision, very difficult, but I realized in the fight, I'm not a fighter.
Yeah.
But I'm here. Fuck, I got to fight.
Yeah.
Because I can't lose.
Yeah.
But I realized then and there, I'm just not a fighter. I don't want to hurt someone. I don't want to hit someone.
And you know that,
So-
I mean, that's the thing. When we saw EJ that night, it takes a lot of courage.
It does, just to get into the ring.
It does, right? And he went large. He went all in. Do you know what I mean?
He did.
And
I remember I was talking.
Yeah,
We're like,
it
whoa.
was like-
and you really get it because you fought at a high level.
Yeah.
You know?
So I enjoy it. I think it's funny because I think most fighters, especially boxers, back when I was growing up, you have to be a bit deranged.
yeah.
There has to be something.
You got to have the lion, the wolf in you that wants to hurt.
Yeah.
That wants to fight.
Yeah.
Because that's it. You have to have that killer instinct.
You have
unfortunately,
to. And it's an interesting one, but
as long as you can turn it on and off.
yeah, well, it's hard.
You know, I mean, yeah.
A lot of guys when they're going through training camp and they're quite vicious, and you carry it around with you.
That's right.
And that's the thing, as you get older, you see it like in the Rocky movies, right? You get older, kind of everything changes a little bit.
Yeah.
But I just think sports, especially for a young man, it gives you a sense of identity, right, and a physicality. And I'm a big believer in how the two can come together.
Yeah.
So then, what was your first acting gig?
Wow, my first acting gig. A good one. Polo Boys.
Okay.
I did Polo Boys. No, sorry. Let me take that back. I did Red Thread. Red Thread and Polo Boys were two shows I got back to back with Channel 5.
I saw Polo Boys.
Yeah.
I think you've got to make a comeback to acting in some capacity.
In some way.
Just because, you know, it's natural for you. Great actor.
Yeah.
I'm sure you enjoy it as well.
I do. But the thing is, I need to find the right role.
Yeah.
So a lot of roles that are given to me are very similar.
Would you ever consider theatre, or do you mainly want to do?
I would. I need to do the trifecta. I've done TV. I've done film.
Yeah.
So the last one, which is the real acting, is stage. So theatre at some point doesn't have to be a big role. Just something, just to have that experience. I've always thought at some point I would like to do that.
And it is a different experience.
It is.
Being up on
I
stage.
I used to be terrified
Yeah.
in school. You know, in school
Yeah.
when you had to the year-end play, you had to do it.
Yeah.
You had to just get. I mean, I was just like, give me a background tree or the soldier.
I'll stand there.
There, the soldier. No lines. Sing a couple of songs, and that's it. One costume throughout the whole thing. I'm happy. That's it. You know, because that wasn't my thing. So during school and everything, I dropped drama as soon as I could. It just wasn't my thing. So it's also quite ironic.
Yeah, it is ironic
that it went that way eventually. And I do enjoy it, you're right. It is a craft. I've gotten better over time. I think I've gotten even better now because of real life.
Of course, you've got
Emotion,
that exposure. Yeah.
right? Emotion, which I was very terrible at. Again, back to when I was, when I lost dad, of what I did, I suppressed a lot. So my emotions I wasn't very good at the emotional side of things.
Yeah.
And that's changing now over the last few years as I've acknowledged that and I'm healing.
Yeah.
So maybe that would help me.
I'm sure you just tap into it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
As long as it doesn't eat you up.
That's right. That's right. But it would be cathartic,
Yeah.
I think. And I'm just trying to find that one role with the right script and the right character, working with the right director, and the right cast. And, when that all comes together, I mean, it might be wishful thinking.
But
maybe I can't hit all.
Put it out there.
Yeah, maybe not all, but the minimum is script and character.
Yeah,
that needs to be, because I can control that.
Yeah.
That's
me. Do you know who Camel Huck is?
Of course.
So Camel and I are friends, and I engaged him to do some sales training for my Singapore and Hong Kong teams.
Right.
And I told him I was a thespian at school, and I was thinking about becoming a professional actor.
Yeah.
So I hit him up maybe about 2.5 years ago. I said, "Mate, you free for a coffee?" He goes, "Yeah." And I said, "I want you to create a play for me." And then he goes, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "I want you to think of a play, and you're going to I'm going to be the main actor in it.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, Paul, you're not a professional actor. You don't have the time. And he's looking at me like I'm crazy. And he goes, you'd have to audition. I said, I don't audition, mate.
Yeah.
Just test me now.
Yeah.
Let's go. And it was hilarious. But the deal breaker was I said, I want my kids to see me in something.
Yeah.
And I want to experience it again. And I was joshing him a little bit, but he said, look, you would need to be here at 6 o'clock every day. And I said, I can't do that because of my business. Yeah. So then he said, he went back and he thought about it. He said, I want to get you to do a solo one-person play.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, that's
full monologue.
Full on. So he gave me 2 or 3 things to read. He said, don't watch it, read it. And I said, mate, 2 of these, the guys are borderline pedophiles. I just said, is that how you see what's going on? And he was saying, no, but these are very visceral roles. And I said, mate, I'm not an actor, so if I do it once, people are going to remember me for that one role, right? So I'm going to revisit it. And I was thinking, maybe I even write something, and I was talking to my son because he wants to be a filmmaker.
Yes.
But I just think throwing yourself into doing something, it creates a whole paradigm shift in the way that your brain thinks. You know what I mean? So if you did that again, you did a bit of theatre, it would unlock something. It would be fun.
Yeah, it would be.
I mean?
It would be.
It's like doing skydiving. You might do it once, and I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, exactly. Just bucket list and like experience and great. So I might have to hit up Camille. We're also old friends because we have the SEC connection. Yeah, of course.
He's an amazing guy.
Awesome.
Have you when you think a little bit about the difference between acting and storytelling when you're on stage, because you're a storyteller, there's a difference between performance, right, on screen versus hosting.
100%.
Tell us about that, because hosting is a very specific skill.
So hosting is easy.
Really? For you, maybe.
For me, because I'm just being myself.
Love it.
So if you can't be yourself, you have things to work on. If you're not comfortable and natural being yourself in that way, and projecting out and just being in your element. Yeah. And I get it. A lot of people who are not. They haven't found themselves yet. They might never find themselves. Some people find themselves early, in the middle, at the end. It's part of the life journey. But when I'm on stage and I'm hosting, it's just me. And I found that out quite early on.
You did.
Very lucky that I did. And that's what I cultivated. I'm like, I'm not here to perform. I'm not here to put on an act. This is just me. So if I can't speak the way I speak and run the stage and connect with the audience as me, then I shouldn't be doing this.
I love it.
Whereas with acting, so much harder because you have to become another person. Yeah. And I always say the best actors, they're not acting. Yeah. They become.
Yes.
Acting is so hard.
It's so hard.
It's because it shouldn't actually be called acting, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said the best actors become. They evolve and transform. That person you're seeing, it's not them anymore. Yeah. They've gone in.
That's the thing. There was one caveat to that. Anthony Hopkins was been interviewed, and he's or was president of the Tommy Cooper Society, which is an old comedian in the UK. He was a bit gimmicky, so you'd be surprised because he's such a serious actor. And in the interview, they said, "What do you feel about Daniel Day-Lewis? Method acting.
Oh yeah, method acting. Yeah.
Last of the Mohicans, he went into the forest, he lived there for 6 months, and then Anthony Hopkins said, "He's a bloody idiot." He goes, that's why it's called acting. And then he was he was taking a piss. He goes, look, I played Hannibal Lecter. What am I going to go and do? You know what I mean? And it's like, we're going to go and dissect some brains and, but you're right. And, because I studied Stanislavski and the whole method acting and actually it's very interesting because when you're on stage, I would imagine you have to get your mind into a certain frame of mind. Yeah. I'm just curious about your process. So say a corporate comes to you and says, hey, or we want you to put this on, we want to do this. Where does your process begin and end, and how are you working with the production team? Yeah. Because I'm fascinated about that.
I love your questions, by the way.
Thank you.
Great. And I think I've, again, been very lucky that I'm pretty much 100% comfortable hosting anything. I've also realized over time, you do not need to be an expert on all the topics or the industries that you go to host. Yeah. Because you're a facilitator, you're hosting, you are running the show in terms of the stage and the segments. You're the connector, and you can learn a script. You have a script that you can work off. It's good to prep, of course. It's good to go through everything and to do it. But a lot of times, emceeing and being on stage as a host is just managing.
In the moment, right?
That's it. It's just managing it and going real time. Because I've never done an event where it's gone 100% smooth.
Yeah.
Shit's going to happen.
Doesn't exist.
You just need to make sure the audience doesn't know. There could be a fire backstage.
Yeah.
Literally, people, shit's falling apart.
Yeah.
But no one in front
hold it
knows.
together. I love
you
it.
You just have to buy time. You have to create the positive experience. You got to communicate with your stage hands, or when they brief you, do it. You just got to work. But also just be real. Be authentic. I mean, I've done many times on stage where it's like, right, we've got technical difficulties. Give me a moment. You don't always have to be on stage.
Yeah.
Give me a moment. I need to go and check something.
Yeah.
I need to go, because sometimes I also try to tell you stuff off stage, and I'm like, look, you're trying to mouth something to me that I'm not getting. So just give me a moment and go off and do it. Because I think at the end of the day, for the most part, you want to have the perfect event. But I think also you want to have an authentic event. The experience has to be real.
Yeah.
And as long as you don't make it awkward and it's fun and it's good,
Yeah.
that's the most important thing. So
Do you have someone that works for you or with you that is helping you do the coordination, or you having to work with each team each time?
it's different all the time. Yeah, it's really different.
That's got to be tough, though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You just, with experience, you figure it out.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of times I would come into events and I would look at everything and I've changed the flow. I'd be like, this flow won't work.
Okay.
You need to bring this segment here. You need
Brilliant.
to put that over there. You know, when's food service? Okay, food service is coming in here.
These
so we
things
need
are
to
so important. The timing of it all.
It's all timing. And I said, look, you don't want to drag things on. You don't want to do this, because things are always going to happen. So where can we minimize the issues and the problems?
Yeah.
But also, if things do go wrong, can we solve them quickly? Can we do it?
Yeah.
Or what do we need to do? And like I said, if you just be like, look, I got to go off stage for a second. Need to figure this out. Give me a moment. Done. And again, and I think the audience appreciates that.
Of course they do.
Yeah, because they're like,
and they're
"Ooh."
okay. They're like,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
It makes you more human, probably, as
That's
well.
right. And I prepare as much as I can, but I think my preparedness has always just come because I'm experienced now.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for so long.
You roll into it.
And like I said, it doesn't matter what the topic is.
Do
just
you
be ready.
Do
and
you
just
have
go.
a writer? And if not, a list of all the things that you want, like an actor or a musician. When you turn up.
Yeah.
I want.
Oh no! Yeah,
M&Ms,
water at
yeah.
at 13 degrees.
You should do it, and you should just tease them. Just say, I need M&Ms, but I want only the red ones.
That's right.
Just,
Yeah.
I'll do it just as a wind up.
I love it.
Next time you do
Stage, it's got to be purple. That's just my thing. But I also go on stage before your next question. But I also go on there, and you know how they say, oh, imagine everyone's naked.
Yeah.
As your thing,
Yeah.
to just bring your nerves down and like, okay, and you're the guy. I'm like, okay, that's a little bit screwy in my opinion, but I get it. I get that mental game. But I literally go up there and I know I'm up there doing my job. And at any event with any audience, there's not more than 5 people, not more than one hand of anyone who could come up and do my job.
Yeah.
And I'd say maybe not even more than 1 or 2 people that could come on stage and do my job better than me.
Yeah.
So in that respect, whatever I'm doing now, this is my domain. And just go out there, have fun, do your job. People feel it, see it, hear it, and they're like, okay, cool. He did a great job.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people that can't. They can't.
Of
They
course.
don't know how to
So
project
tough.
even on a microphone.
Yeah, so tough.
And connect and move.
I mean, public
you know?
speaking, getting up in front, it's the scariest thing.
It's scary. I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah, 100%. I get it. And
What's your process? Like when you're getting ready, back in the day for a rugby game or now, do you sit down, do you take a moment, you go through your notes, do you need some quiet time? I'm just curious what's going on.
Yeah. I think always, again, going through the script is important, and the flow, and just knowing where your chunks are, where your points are, and then dissect it up. You don't have to know everything because you're going to get breaks.
Yeah.
Get this segment done.
Then
Get rid of it.
Okay.
Remove.
Yeah.
And kill it.
Yeah.
So you can really remove it confident, going, ooh,
Nice.
I smashed that.
Love it.
And that leads on to the next one because then, then you're like, oh, you're feeling it.
I love
and you just
it.
go and you just go and you just do it. And it would be the same thing I guess, in a game. Maybe you could go 2 halves, you could go 4 quarters. And you're like, okay, let's focus on time.
So interesting.
And then, or let's focus on possession, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got possession now. Let's go phases. I mean, if you're going to go rudimentary, it's obviously your own skill set, but like your role and skill set in this next play, which is in this phase, which sets up the overall possession for you, that you either turned over the ball or you've scored a try, for example. So I think that's how you got to do it. You got to micro manage it in that way.
Yeah.
And then once it's done, it's done.
It's done.
Forget about it.
Next.
Because now what do you do? Oh, fuck, you knocked the ball on. Knock on. Sorry.
That's what
sorry,
they say.
boys. Okay, scrum. Let's try and get this back now. Or let's play the next defense. That next tackle.
Yeah.
Let's try and get.
That's what you're focusing on.
That's it. Let's focus on that. Turn the ball over there. Maybe he knocks the ball on from my tackle, or we get him down and I get on the ball and I get it back, or
You gotta
whatever
reset.
it is. Exactly. You have to reset. Because the moment you start going, especially if it's your mistake.
Yeah. You can dwell on it and it's going to spiral. You know what I mean?
You go down a rabbit hole.
I'm sure you found this, because I found this with the podcast, that, and I didn't think that this would happen, but one of the side benefits, my memory's gotten better.
Yeah.
And the diversity of your knowledge, because the more gigs that you're doing, the greater the variety, your bandwidth's just growing, right?
That's it. Yeah, 100%. And funnily enough, and I get this told quite a lot in a good way and a bad way, but I always take it the good way to a certain degree. I'm like a jack of all trades, master of none to a degree, not necessarily in the role, but in terms of knowledge, especially. They're like, people have told me, oh man, you know a little bit about a lot of things.
Yeah.
So when we speak to you, it's like, we can have conversation.
It
You might have a tidbit of this and a tidbit of that. So your knowledge on one thing might not be massive.
Yeah.
But there's enough there that we can have a conversation. And I think that's in due part with the hosting in particular. I host so many different events.
Yeah.
And I learn so many things, because I don't just get on stage and then I host. If I go off stage and then I'm watching a panel discussion, or a fireside chat, or the keynote speaker, or just this person giving his welcoming address, and they say things, and you're like, oh, cool, that's nice. I'll have to remember that one.
Incorporate it.
Correct.
I love that.
Yeah.
Have you looked at any particular guys or girls that are up there on stage or on TV that I like what they do? I'm going to incorporate that. Are there any specific ones that you look at?
Not specific.
That's interesting. That means that you've kept true to yourself.
Yeah, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's also a safeguard. Maybe, I'm not too sure.
Interesting.
I need to think about it because I haven't really thought about it. I don't know whether it's because I wanted to stay true to myself, so I don't need to follow someone else.
But it's like if you watch sports, or like the other day I saw Oprah Winfrey do an interview, and it was just off the cuff. She got out of the car. And, we know now. So I was just thinking to myself, if I didn't know it was Oprah Winfrey, what she'd done, would I be impressed? And, and I would have been. And I just realized she was sharp, she was dynamic, she recognized the guy interviewing, she homed in on it. He asked a good question. She went straight to the point.
Nice.
There was no fluff.
Yeah, straight to it, right? Because again, pro. Yeah. Super pro. And yeah, I think I have watched people, but I wouldn't have a specific person where I'm like, cool. But it's also just taking the best from everyone to a certain degree.
Which is the best way.
Which is what you want.
Now, talk to me a little bit about your journey in entrepreneurship, because this is something, as an entrepreneur myself, I know, and I want other people to understand what your journey's been like, because it's never a straight line.
No. I have a lot of failed businesses.
Tell us about a little bit.
A lot. I have more, obviously, failed businesses than successful. I've had some successful that then failed, because some never even make it off the ground, and so on and so on. So my first real business opportunity was coming back from uni, knowing that I was coming back to Singapore and I was modeling. I used to come back for all the modeling work during my holidays. That's what it was. So I used to come back and earn some good money because it used to pay very well. And I'd be like, oh, this is holiday work.
Yeah.
I'm not just paying for my flight to come back.
Yeah.
I'm paying for me to do stuff.
Yeah, amazing.
Which is great. And that was just a holiday work. And I would come back 3-4 times a year. And if I booked any gigs, an event, a show, a campaign, great. So the first opportunity coming back was actually a mobile app. And it was a bar and club guide.
Wow.
From my senior rugby captain in school, Tony Corrigan, who's in Melbourne. And that's what he was working on. They had the technology there, and mind you, this is 2005.
Yeah.
2004, 2005, 2006.
Very different.
2.5G had just rolled out here. There was no the smartphones weren't out yet. There was no app store. Mobile apps were not even really a thing. People would have been like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And I was given the technology. The servers were all there. The tech was there. I had everything, and because I used to come back on the holidays and party a lot,
Yeah.
and being in the modeling and fashion industry, I knew a lot of the bar and club owners and managers, and when I came back, I was doing the PR for some of the clubs, for the models' dinners and the model parties. So I was well known in that space. So this app was like it would have been the perfect
Yeah.
business for me to run. The thing is, it was too early.
Timing.
No one understood what a mobile app was. Right? It's not like now.
Yeah.
StarHub at the time, which had just launched at 2.5G, wanted 75% rev share.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The bars and clubs, a lot of them said yes, they would join this guide that was on the phone because, back then maybe it was more online or
Yeah.
you get physical vouchers. So I had mobile vouchers that people could claim. We do the alerts. We would mark it and put everything out so you get a notification. You'd be like, oh, this party is going on here this week. These are the events, all on your phone, on your interface. Got to a point where also we were able to then maybe flash up like Bluetooth zones to be like, how busy are these places at the moment? Or are the friends that you're connected with, where are they?
Yeah.
You could see maybe where they were by connection, like I guess, Grindr style, if
Yeah.
you will. I mean, look, there's a lot of apps now that I was like, oh, when all these apps came out, I was thinking about doing that.
Crazy.
I was thinking about doing that, but all in my one bar and club guide.
Wow.
It just didn't quite work
Happened
because
flat.
it was too early.
What have you learned from your entrepreneurial journey?
Failure.
Yeah.
A lot of failure, and it's very tough.
Yeah.
A lot of failure. You have to go. You do have to go all in, but you can't be sucked all in. So that when it fails, you can't.
So
go,
interesting. Yeah.
Oh no! And
Yeah.
It's funny. You want to hedge and ride everything on it because you're
Yeah.
like, man, if this works,
Yeah.
this could be a unicorn. If
Yeah.
this can make me shitload of money,
Yeah.
great. But sometimes it's also like, is it just giving you some sort of income?
Yeah.
And then that entrepreneurial spirit, okay, good. That's giving you 20% of your revenue. Now go and work on something else that give you another 20%.
Yeah.
And then another that give you
Great point.
50%.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then whatever it was. So that's when at least I was modeling and doing the club scene, the PR club scene, and I knew I was getting some. That was giving me a livelihood. I could stay afloat. I could pay my bills. I could feed myself.
So what about because you've been a master at doing this, and I'm guessing I know the answer. But what is more difficult, building a product as a brand, or you yourself as a brand?
Yeah, product as a brand.
For sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because there's so many what ifs.
Yeah.
Whereas you have a lot of control on your personal brand, if you can get that right. Obviously, I mean, first of all, identify what your personal brand is.
Yeah.
And I've been very lucky that I can do a few things. At first, it was more like, okay, yeah, the model guy, that guy, and the party guy. But also, wait, he's an athlete.
Yeah.
So that's sports and nutrition and
Yeah.
health guy. So weird, right? But I was kind of doing everything.
Yeah.
All at the same
Well, you
time.
managed not to become pigeonholed.
Yes.
My observation of your career is that there was a moment in time where you could have been pigeonholed, and when that happened, you stepped up. And now, when I think of you, I think of wellness.
Yes, now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. I was actually pigeonholed.
Yeah. As like the party guy, right? And
yeah, or as the guy that actually is not specializing in anything. So this happened when social media first kicked off,
Yeah.
especially with Instagram. If you notice where the people got very big early on was when they were focused on one thing: food, fitness, travel, fashion. When they were an expert in that, the clients and the brands were like, yes, this is who we need to, because you became the voice and the person that could talk about this one thing.
Yeah.
And at the beginning for me, it was a bit difficult because I just did everything.
Yeah.
I was that guy that just did everything. So some brands would pick me up here and there, and I was still doing my thing. But I doubled down because I'm like, I can't specialize in one thing because it's not me.
You doubled down. I
doubled
love
down.
that.
I was like, I am not changing who I am,
Yeah.
and I'm not changing my brand. And then it went full circle. Then it became to a point of like, oh, wait a minute. Paul's very authentic in all the things he does because that's how he lives his life.
Yeah.
We should use him.
Yeah.
And then the brands, and then it flipped.
Yeah.
Where, yes, you might be an expert in one thing and you're doing that, but then because then they started to cannibalize. Then all the brands started to be like, oh, all our competitors are booking the same person to do this. So in actual fact, they might be representing our shampoo now.
Yeah.
And then next week, they're representing another shampoo brand because they're in the cosmetics.
Yeah.
That was their thing.
Yes.
There was no exclusivity anymore. So it
interesting.
changed. And then for me, it was like, oh, well, because he does everything anyways, it's okay. It was different.
Do you have an
it
agent
worked.
now or a manager, or do you rep yourself?
No, I rep myself.
Good.
I do work with a few different people that still can push for me and book me. I do have...
Can you talk on that? Because I think that's
Yeah.
a big differentiator when you have the courage to go on your own.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously you're saving money, but you have to get flow of work.
That's right. So I've done it both ways. I have been managed before. Helped to start an agency back then. And we got a few of the flagship. We were the Pan-Asian, the Eurasian
Yeah.
agency.
Okay.
All of us were like...
Okay.
You
The
know,
hit squad.
Exactly.
love
All mixed, right? Hosts, actors, VJs. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we had the whole shebang, all the different
Well, you
portfolios.
guys with the Pan Asians, still probably are the most.
Sought after.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, I think because it's a psyche.
Yeah.
People are here and then they see a Pan-Asian, and doesn't matter if you're Asian or Caucasian, you kind of connect with the person just based on...
It's a good point.
And it's psychological. It's
Yeah.
just based on that.
Yeah.
At first, the barrier is very easy.
But I do think mixed kids, by and large, are very good looking. You know.
Yes, they've got a good
just
mix.
in general, yeah.
And then they can float. So you can kind of
Yeah.
hit between
Yeah. You're right.
the psyche.
I
think that's it.
hadn't thought of that before.
That's how.
Talk about your breath work
Yeah.
coaching, because I want to attend your next gig, but
Yeah.
I'm really fascinated by how this came about.
Yeah, so that's the wellness part of
Yeah.
me now, right? So again, I've evolved a lot. And again, the evolution of me evolving has been that. And again, creating my brand. So doing everything, growing up, enjoying life. And then people started to know that's what Paul does. He does everything. And it goes both ways. I'm not saying there's a right and a wrong. If you do specialize and you focus on one thing, awesome for you and great, because that's what you love. I get it. But that wasn't for me. And then over time with everything, I had my wellness journey started from my health scare for my heart.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So
What happened?
I have high cholesterol.
Okay.
Still genetic.
Okay.
Managed
Okay,
now.
Good man.
I was managing. Look, I've been on statins since I was 30. I found out when I was 30
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, bro.
that
A lot of South Asians suffer
Yes.
from that in particular.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's just one of those things. It's primarily diet and fatty liver, right? So, and that was one of those things as well. I thought, shit, maybe my whole life I've had that against me, and my sports and fitness has helped managed it. But I had to work really hard to also get fit and hit, and that made me think maybe that's why I had to work harder than the naturally gifted
Yeah.
guys who are just fit.
Yeah.
But that gave me that resilience. But yeah, I've known since I was 30, high cholesterol, runs in my family. All of us have it from mum, except for one sister. The other 4 have
She
it.
escaped it.
That's
yeah.
it. Blood type, right? So then at 40, I was taking the medication for a decade, good part, and then I stopped for a while, thinking, actually, you know what? I'm quite healthy.
Yeah.
I should be able to manage this. A bit naive, because the medication was the stuff that was suppressing the LDL production and getting rid of it. But I stopped for a while, and I got invited to go to do some content for an iron sweets. They're doing some iron stuff, and I thought, oh, since you're drawing my blood, and got it. They said your iron's great, all good. Oh, but your vitamin B is a bit low, so let's take these amplets to boost it up. And I thought, oh wait, could you test my cholesterol? Because I hadn't done a test in a while, and
you'd come off the statins.
They did, yeah, and they did a very, very in-depth test. And they're like, yeah, absolutely, we can do it. So we did another test, and then they got my results, and they were like, bro, like, this is astronomical.
Wow.
You're in red danger zone.
Jeez.
Like 294 or 5, 9.3 or 4, when you should be below, you should be hovering at 3.
Scary.
And he was just like, dude, you need to go see a cardiologist. This is out of my realm as just even a GP, because this is not, let's just get you back on statins. You need to go do a full checkup and check. And I did, and 90% blockage in my arteries.
Flipping hell, man.
Yeah, 70 to 90%, multiple. Passed the stress test, no problem. Again, my heart was good. My fitness was good. I didn't have anything that forced me to go here. I was healthy.
Yeah.
But my cardiologist was like, it's a ticking time bomb. 3 to 5 years, you probably would have a heart attack, especially with what you do. But because we caught it early, we could fix it. I didn't have anything that caused an issue, which is the worst thing. Because when you have a heart attack or a cardiac arrest, I mean, part of your heart dies. And that never really recovers. But I had to do my invasive angiogram. I had to put 4 stents and 2 balloons.
I didn't know that, man.
At 42 years old.
Crazy, bro.
So even going in, so at first it was supposed to be exploratory for my insurance. But they also said, if you fail the pressure test, we'll put stents in, because you're in here. And you're awake the whole time. I'm awake. I'm watching him do all this stuff on the screen.
Where did they go in from?
They went through my wrist.
Wow.
Yeah, they can go through your groin or your
here.
wrist. So he went through my wrist.
So scary, and especially at 42, man.
Yeah. But, it was one of those things.
I'm glad you're sharing this story, because
it's important. It's super important.
Yeah.
Because early health screening.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
But I said, well, this is in the office. I said, well, how do I fail the pressure test? He said, oh, going in should be at like 80 on the scale. And then if it's below 70 on the way out, you've got a blockage that's severe enough that we have to put stents in. So I was like, oh, okay. So I'm hearing them in the operating theater. They're doing everything, going in. Yeah, sure enough, 80. Let's set the pressure at 80. Reading 67, 68, 69, something like that. And I knew, okay.
Straight away.
I knew at least, okay, I got to get 1 stent. And actually, my thinking was I probably would have got 1 stent before I was even going in. And he comes around, right, Paul? So you failed the pressure test. I'm like, yep, I heard. He's like, okay, so we're going to have to put some stents in, some. Let me do it. I'll figure it out. We're seeing where the blockages are, because they put the dye in. And at the end, 4 stents, 2 balloons. It was pretty crazy.
Really crazy.
But I had a really good cardiologist team. Dr. McDonald and Dr. Rohit. Dr. McDonald was my cardiologist in the office, making sure everything's good. Dr. Rohit is one that did the procedure.
How long will they last for?
Quite a while, apparently.
Good.
Yeah, quite a while. They did that, and then I had to go on injections.
Really?
I had to go on bi-weekly injections to get my cholesterol down, and I took the first 2. We took another test in 1 month, and it dropped down from like 290 something to like 20 something, like massive, right?
Wow,
Or
okay.
something crazy.
So okay, great. At least it's working.
Correct. So the medication worked, but did I want to be dependent on these $500 injections that I have to take twice a month
Crazy.
for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Once I got on the ejections, I cut my statins down from 40 milligrams to 10. So I was already on the max, which was good. I wanted to cut that down. And then we did a few things just to manage me, and everything was down. Because I said, if we put the stents in, but we don't manage the cholesterol, you know, it just gets clogged up again.
Yeah,
it just
it's
builds
pointless.
over the scaffolding, the
Yeah.
stents,
Yeah.
right? Or the plaque just builds up. But it was a real eye opener, because I'm across the table and he's like, listen, I'm looking at you. You're not the typical patient that would come in. If I'm looking at the paper, if I look up, I expect to see a 60-year-old man, obese, no exercise, not a great diet, stress, smokes. He's like, you are none of those on paper. Just unfortunately, you have the unique genetic predisposition of producing cholesterol. Yeah.
So now with your breath work, tell us about it.
Yeah. That opened up a lot of things for me to go, I need to really look at my health. I need to be happy, be healthy. And over the next couple of years, because that was only 2023, so coming up to three, it's just coming up to 3 years actually. So, you know, I changed a lot of things in my life. I completely changed my mindset. One of the biggest things was, what am I here to do? What's my role?
I love that.
Like, I'm not fulfilled.
Yeah.
What am I missing? And
It's very powerful.
Very powerful. And that was my big shift was, I want to be a dad. I've always wanted children.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I don't, there's so many things.
Yeah.
I wasn't with the right person. I wasn't ready in my life, because I was like, oh, maybe I need to earn more so that I can have more to take care of a family.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh, I still want to do all these things before maybe I have a kid, you know. But that woke me up. And I was like, okay, I need to change a lot of things in my life and find the person that I can spend the rest of my life with, that I can grow a family with.
Amazing.
And that was Layla, my wife.
How did you meet her?
We actually walked by each other at Ion
Really?
and just
And
saw each other, and that was it.
Did you
Like,
you went on the chirp straight away?
No, just clocked each other, and like acknowledged, like, oh, hi, like a real human connection without
that.
one word being said.
Wow.
Um,
So how did you exchange digits then?
a few months after that, I appeared on a story on one of her on a mutual friend's story, and she's like, "Hey, I know that guy. That's the guy."
So you
walked
never
by."
spoke?
Nope. And she messaged me and she was like, "Hey, were you the guy I walked past?"
What a love
at Ion?"
story.
And I was like, "Yes." And I remember you.
Wow.
How are you? How's life? And
Yeah.
you know, at first, just talking, getting to know each other, but then realized we were very in sync. And she's a very, very big part of my healing journey. She bought me my first 90 breathwork journey for as a birthday present.
And what a great birthday present.
And yeah, like, you know, belated, you know, it was something that was just very powerful. It wasn't, the journey itself was fantastic, but it didn't completely open me up, but it got me going, whoa, that's different.
Yeah.
That's something. And then from there, it was more like, okay, let's look into the human consciousness, you know, the elevated consciousness. What are we here to do? How can we help? And to a certain degree, I've been doing that a lot in my life anyway, so all my volunteer and charity work and everything. But instead of, and that was what I did after my dad passed away, I think I gave out a lot.
Yes.
And I think I covered up the mourning process and that pain and that hurt by helping others.
Yeah.
Help. Do good, help. Build a school, build a house.
It's amazing.
You know, raise money, help these animals, go and do this. And maybe I let myself go in that way. So that, again, that whole experience of me figuring out I need to work on myself more, and then meeting Layla and us going on this journey, holding each other's hands and going and growing together and evolving.
Beautiful.
Was massive. My second breathwork journey was the powerful one. That's the one where the shit literally hit the fan.
Really?
And
How so?
I unlocked a lot of emotional baggage pertaining to Dad in particular.
Of course.
He comes up a lot in my life, anyways. He's always there. He's a lot of my guiding compass.
Yeah.
You know, and I know he's
He's your
always
North
watching.
Star,
And
right?
yeah, he's my North Star and my moral compass, my guiding compass. And I always think, like, if he was still alive and I'm doing this, would he be proud of me, or would he be happy,
love
or
that.
what would he say?
Yeah.
Like, if we have a conversation, you know, he's fair. Like I mentioned earlier, he would have wanted me to go to the UK, but I'm sure we would have had a discussion if I was like, hey, Dad, I really want to go to Australia. I don't know. Maybe it would have gone that way, but I still think my path would have been very different. So he's always there. He's always a guiding force. But in that second breathwork journey, he was really there, and I felt him. And the crazy thing is, Layla, she can kind of astral project to a certain degree and get out and do it. And she saw my dad.
Jeez.
Actually, in that breathwork session, because we were doing a conscious leaders retreat, which I would love at some point, if we do something, I would love to have.
All right, good evening, guys.
100%.
come.
I mean,
I think you'd
yeah.
you'd be great.
And I think I
Yeah.
would benefit a lot from it.
Yeah, it was a fantastic retreat. We were all there doing the breathwork, and she was in her journey, but she was starting to jump into other people's journeys,
Mad.
and she was starting to feel what other people were feeling, and
That must be quite emotionally taxing on her, though.
very, very exhausting.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Screw this! I can't. I need to pull out from these other people's journeys." And then she saw that I really needed help because I was losing it. I was crying and sobbing
Really?
and everything. I mean, I was that person that would watch the videos and be like, "No way,
Yeah.
no way does that happen in breath work."
Famous last word.
Exactly. And then that was me. And I felt my dad there, and I could see him, and all these visions and things were coming through. And she's like, you know, and she had to break out of her journey, and she had to hold my hand while she was on hers and come out and help me a lot. And after that, she was just like, "So your dad was here, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, he was right here. He was on your top, like, right shoulder. He was
Wow.
here, and he was happy, and he was with you and everything." I was like, "Holy shit!" And I was exhausted at the end of that journey.
Yeah,
But
I
that
bet.
was,
I bet.
I realized if this is the somatic healing
Yeah.
that can happen
Yeah.
from breathing,
Yeah.
I got to do more of this, and I got to learn, and I need to share and serve this to help others heal.
I'm not religious, but like, so my mum died just over 2 years ago, and the night that she died, so I'd gone to bed. She was in palliative care, so she wasn't well, but I obsessively was looking at my phone to see if she would message me. So I'd actually turned my phone off.
Yeah.
And about 3 a.m., I woke up, had a very vivid dream that I was riding a black horse in Mongolia next to two white horses.
Wow.
And in my dream, yeah, it's crazy that in my dream, the white horses were my mum and dad. And I woke up immediately and I thought, I think mum's died.
Yep.
And literally that happened. My wife went to the toilet because I'd woken her up, and her phone rang, and it was my cousin's. "Can I speak to Paul?" And I said, "Mum's gone." And so I went to Ireland the next day for the funeral with my wife, and I came back and I said to her, because how the Mongolia thing came up was...
I was going to ask.
Yeah, is the last... I've got no connection to Mongolia. Although apparently...
We're all connected to Genghis Khan. A lot
One-eighth of us,
us.
yeah. You know, so maybe.
Yeah.
My 23andMe says I'm not, but who knows? But what it was the last conversation I had with her. She said, "Where are you going off on your next adventure?" And I said, "Mongolia." I think, "Mum, but I want you to get better. You're going to come with me."
Oh, wow.
And so I got back to Singapore a few days later, and I just said to my wife, "I think I'm going to go to Mongolia to say goodbye to Mum." And then I went, and I'd ridden horses before, and I'm certainly not an expert, but it's a funny story. So there's a horse whisperer, his name's Pooji, and I showed him a video, and his English is very broken, and I showed him, and he looked at what I could do on the horse, and he said, "No, it's going to take 2 months." And I said, "What about 2 hours?" And then in his broken English, he said, "I need to pay you with a horse." So he's got a bunch of horses,
yeah.
and those horses are wild 70% of the year because the weather's so extreme.
That's right, the nomadic.
So yeah, exactly. So he's talking to this horse, and he pairs me with this horse called Milo. And he said, "Milo's a warrior horse. He likes to go 100%, 100% of the time. If you're in trouble, just direct him towards a mountain and up a hill, and he'll get tired." And, you know, I'm thinking, shit, Christopher Reeves has fallen off a horse, and my buddy was with me, and he'd fallen off a horse. And I thought, we're going to go all in. And we went all in. And afterwards, I said, in my dream, I was topless
Yes.
and there was no saddle.
Yes.
And he said, you can't go, you need a saddle.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I said, okay, so I'm going topless anyway. So we do the run, we come back, and then afterwards I said, we did it. And he filmed it, and he's standing like that. I can't see him. He's holding the camera.
Yeah.
And he's an amazing horseman. And then I said, just out of curiosity, you said, my horse is similar to me in terms of personality. And he, very broken English, he goes, yeah, he's also a crazy motherfucker.
Oh my God.
And it was
I
like,
love that.
and it was hilarious. And, you know, afterwards, it was just like, I told you off camera, I said I didn't cry when my mum, no, I didn't, I said it to someone earlier. I didn't cry when I had to give the eulogy for my mum's passing, because if I started crying, I wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I was just thinking, all you really want from your parents is to be proud of you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your dad's looking at you saying, my boy did it.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
So I think I would like to think that of all of us to a
Yeah.
certain degree, right? As long as we stay true and good and
Yeah.
don't hurt others and go out and do what we do,
Then we've got the righteous path.
that's it. And why would no one be proud of us?
Well,
Yeah.
well, you've been involved with, I'm just making sure I get the name of it right,
Yeah.
Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of fundraising for over a decade now,
Yeah.
which is stellar work.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I love Habitat for Humanity. I did my first big build with them, the Jimmy Carter big build in Chiang Mai in 2008, I believe it was. And I had to leave early because I think I was going to film Red Thread, if I'm not mistaken. So that got me into it. They kind of had me over there. It was like big build is like, we were building like, it must have been like 40 houses.
Wow.
Like they were literally creating an entire neighborhood.
Yeah.
Imagine this American neighborhood with the cul-de-sacs
Yeah.
with houses,
Like that.
but in Chiang Mai.
Amazing.
And it was super cool. They made me a house leader straight away, which I thought was a bit weird because I was like, well, I haven't done a build yet, which was super cool. I had what's his name? The Japanese footballer, the captain, not.
The good-looking guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
the old
yeah,
school guy.
yeah.
Not. I want to say Narita because
Yeah.
but that's the airport. But
Begins with N.
yeah.
Nikita or something like
yeah,
that.
Nikki, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he
Yeah.
was on my team as well. So I was like,
Really?
oh, that's pretty cool. I was like,
Really
okay.
cool.
But I mean, look, I'm like you. I'm a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm 100%.
I love it.
I'm gonna build. I'm
Yeah.
gonna build a house. Let's fucking do it. And I've got less time than the rest because I have to leave early. So I'm blood, sweat, and tears. Let's go for it. And that's how I've always been with all the houses I've built. I've done 7 builds. Thailand, Malaysia, Nepal, Philippines.
Life-changing,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So many levels.
Yeah, and to
There's
build a
yours.
home
Yeah.
for someone is powerful. And I've done a few big builds. I've completed a couple of houses where we've done the ceremony to give it to the family.
Wow.
And my God, man,
It
that's
must be breathtaking.
that's everyone. There's not a dry eye in the entire team, and everyone's just
Jeez.
because it's powerful. Look, it's a basic need. Shelter. I mean,
Yeah.
food, yes, right, and warmth, but shelter. And to think that there are so many people in the world that just don't have 4 walls and a roof over their head is it's not nice. But when we can have that impact, it's great. So, I've been working with Habitat for almost 20 years, right? That means the volunteer work and the fundraising and the hosting and everything in between. And great organization. I just did a build in Siem Reap last year. And I love building in different places because all the houses are different.
Yeah.
You
Different
build
style.
different styles according to the environment and the technology and the materials they have. So, but the Siem Reap one was fantastic. Siem Reap is the people are so lovely over there.
Yeah.
In Cambodia.
Yeah.
I think because they've gone through
So much hardship.
shit.
Yeah. So they're probably
right?
so grateful.
They're very nice. They're very genuine.
Yeah.
It's still cheap over there. It's one flight, very easy.
Yeah.
It's quite small in a way, so you're not wasting a lot of time on ground logistics, which can tend to happen in other builds. And again, the people were just so nice because they've come from a very, very terrible history.
Yeah.
I think when your own people kill your own people,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you lose all your intellectuals, and you've had to literally rebuild
Yeah.
a generation, it's different. And
Very well put. I love that.
It's just the psyche and the energy and everything is very different. So very, very cool there. So again, I would love to invite you. I am going to organize a volunteer build in Siem Reap at some point. Man. Yeah. And I just, talking to you more now, you know, all these things, I feel like you'd be amazing because you'd give your heart and soul to it.
Yeah. 100%.
You know, you're 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I appreciate all your generosity.
Yeah.
You know, I've followed you for a long time, so it's weird. Like I feel like I know you. I thought we'd have a lot in common, but you know, we do.
Yes.
Tell us about any projects you're working out. I mean, I'll put all the socials so people can get in contact with you.
Yeah.
But are there any things you're working on you want to put a spotlight on now?
I would. Thank you. I mean, there are a lot of things in the pipeline, and the wellness and longevity, and to a certain degree, the biohacking space is something that we're getting into more. We're actually now helping to co-organize a wellness summit in August.
Wow, that would be brilliant.
It'll be fantastic. It's
in Singapore?
In Singapore. So we want to do the regional in Singapore. And the goal for us is then to do such an amazing job that we can host the global in 2028.
Love it.
Yeah, I believe it's 2028. I might need to get back to you. It could actually be 2027 even. But we need to do the one now in Singapore. So we're working on that. It is a wellness summit. But, you know, we've got a lot of collaborative partnerships going on right now where like Osler Health is like Dr. Fong is one of my medical experts, and I use her for a lot of things. I filmed a couple of episodes for a biohacking series, and she was my MD to make sure everything was done properly. So we work with them, and we just had a brilliant meeting with Stephen, the founder of the School of Positive Psychology.
Yeah,
great work, super cool, and we want to do more with them, and they've got a summit as well, like a wellness conference.
And you know what's central to the way that you put all of this is that ethos: a rising tide raises all ships. You know, that collaboration together.
Yes,
I love that,
because we're good at what we do.
Yeah,
and we know what we do, but we don't know everything.
Yeah,
and I think in this sphere, this wellness sphere, that's starting to really come up now, you know, with mental health and physical health and spiritual health and everything. You need to have the experts. And you need to have the advocates that come on and really walk the talk and data driven, especially, right? And things like that. And also just to open up the network and the doors, because we need to meet people. And this is not just people wellness, this is planetary wellness.
Yeah,
you know, we're all connected.
Oh, big time.
We need to get all that going. So we're working on a few of these summits and conferences towards the fourth quarter of the year. Fourth quarter of the year. The breathwork is still something that we are really focusing on as well. So we do a lot of the public ones, which you'll come and join very soon. But we're starting to get a lot of the corporates, which is great.
Brilliant.
Because it is powerful stuff. You know, the breathwork, that's a whole nother podcast on its own, but the real healing from it is really powerful. Huge. If you're willing to go
deep.
You got to go. It's shadow work.
Yeah.
You got to go deep. You got to be ready to release. And I always say in our journeys, it really is the breath. The tricky part is actually the breath itself, because it's diaphragmatic.
It's hard.
It's belly to chest. It's not intuitive.
I've tried it a little bit, and
it's tricky.
It's a
lot of work. It gets there, and that's why I think my second journey was very powerful for me, because the first was just me getting into it, and then the second was applying it, and then once that happens, I mean, you just go into another realm. Yeah,
I better bring my tissues.
I'll have them for you.
Well, Paul, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Paul.
And for any of my banking and finance guys who wants to have the main man host their events, we'll
host or breathwork, so we can
breathwork.
Release some stress or deal with some healing.
I tell you what, a lot of people in banking need that.
That's it.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Take care, man.
Brother.
Cheers.